I'm at 135 West 4th Street. I'm in the garage. We're testing the garage door opener. You can see you have these little sensors over here. Right, the door is in motion. If something breaks the sensor, the door automatically pops up. Also, if you offer resistance, it pops back up also. So those are the two safety issues. I noticed on the overhead electrical service line, you can see that little spirally taped cable is the ground wire for the service that needs to be reconnected up to the masthead over there. All right, this is your service into the house. Right over here, you've got a 200 amp disconnect. I took the panel off just to check the wiring. You do have some old wiring. Right, you can see some of these, that's all this, and then you have newer wiring, which is the Romex cables. These are the BX cables. You've got some openings in the panel up over here. All right, that should be closed up. You do have a couple of knockouts over here. So if you want to just tape these up on the top, that'll probably work. But that should be fixed. I'll leave these on top of the, no, there's only one of them here. Yeah, there's only one. So you have a ground fault circuit interrupter over here, which is working fine. All right, the wall is poured concrete, which is really good. You can see the window over here is cracked in the garage. There's also another crack over here on the garage door. There's the garage door opener. And then this is to do the light. You can turn off the light. And then you have this service switch. The overhead garage doors have a safety spring on them, which is really good. In the event that you lose power and you need to get out, you can just pull this and this will become a manual door. So you've got a solid metal door, which is good. It's a good fire rating. And it automatically closes. So it doesn't really have gas proofing on it. Just make sure you keep it closed as good as possible. So you can see you've got steel columns. All the wood is nice and clean. Everything is nice and dry. Over in this corner over here, this is a main clean out for your sewer. Right? This is the main water coming into the house. So this is a shutoff. This is your meter. This is a shutoff. You have another shutoff over here, and this is just a service bib right over here. Then the water runs through the house. Here you have a combination boiler and water heater, right? So this is going to make all your heat, you know, the hot water for heat, and all your potable hot water for bathing, right? There's no separate water tank. So there is some servicing that needs to be done to these units. It's a gas-fired unit. It's all high efficiency. You've got the PVC piping that goes right to the outside. You can see down over in here, there's some corrosion on the pipes which appear to be leaking. So that's something that should be taken care of. All right. That's where the old boiler used to be, right there. So I had mentioned to Joanne that one of the flues looks like it's not capped. That looks like it's for the old boiler. So you could probably just put a stone or something just to cover it so that no water gets down into there. They put all spray foam insulation up along the rim joist, which is a little less than ideal because, you know, now I can't check to see if there's any termite activity or wood rot. It would have been better if they would have just sprayed the bottom of the floors. Over here you have a laundry sink. I ran that, everything was working fine. You have your washing machine over here. I always recommend that you consider putting in braided hoses instead of the rubber hoses, but it's up to you. Alternatively, you can just close this when you're not using it and open when you run the water. Your dryer is a 240 volt dryer. It's got the rigid pipe which goes to the outside, and you can see they're both operating. They're both on. All right, this is plenty hot. Over here you have your radon mitigation system. All right, we are doing a radon test, but you can see it's under pressure. The way that you know that the negative air vacuum is not working is the liquid level will be exactly at 0. And it says over here, call for service if both columns are at 0 or if vacuum pressure changes substantially. What does that mean? If this all of a sudden comes down here and this goes up dramatically over here, you may want to call for service. Okay? Again, you got a poured concrete foundation, which is really good. All steel columns, no movement. Right? Connecticut Basement Systems, it seems like, installed a French drain around the perimeter and put in one of their Cadillac sump pumps over here. So it goes outside. You're definitely going to want to ask the homeowner if it goes into a dry well or something like that. Okay. Basement window and wall spray foam on the outside. You've got some newer piping up over here and some older piping. That's all the waste piping. So, you know, over time you may need to change that, but you'll do it on a need-be basis. You know, the only damage I see to the subflooring is over in this area. So I'm not quite sure what was over here, you know, but something looked like it was leaking a little bit of water at some point, but it's not leaking right now. We ran all the plumbing upstairs, and there's no leaks coming down in here on the waste side. There's no leaks on the supply side. So everything looks like it's in pretty good shape. The basement seems pretty dry. It doesn't have a dehumidifier. You know, we always recommend to put a dehumidifier in. So that's something you may want to consider. Okay? Thank you.